So the STAAR 2021 data was exciting for me. Whenever I received it, I felt like the data reflected the class that I knew that I had better or more accurately than the benchmark two. So I was excited to see that almost all of my students grew, and we were able to hit, almost hit the target of the 30, 60, 90. I saw a lot of movement from the different quintiles, which is exciting. Some things that I felt like were helpful for that was I was able to have scholars work in pairs that I selected based on their data, similarly placed together, and then some of my lower ones I worked in their small group. But anyways, they worked together to correct their benchmarks in a claim evidence reasoning format. And then moving forward, anytime they did a STAR formatted question, they were required to answer it not just by circling or giving like a letter. They were required to respond in a claim evidence reasoning format. And I really think that was helpful to get them to slow down and figure out what the question was asking and that sort of thing, and kind of like dissecting the question and the answers and applying that content knowledge. Another thing that I feel like helped was targeted tutorials. I was able to select two different sections of tutorials. I had those that I felt like were in the lower quintiles that didn't belong there, and I was able to do tutorials with them weekly, as well as tutorials that focused on scholars that I had identified from benchmark 2 data that were just not in the higher quintile, not in that master's quintile that I thought that they belonged in. And so being able to crunch that benchmark 2 data and build tutorials off of that and targeted instructions or instruction based on their needs, going through those seeks and kind of dissecting that and giving them the tutorials that they needed. It was interesting to me to get to see those higher scholars in tutorials. Most of them had never been in tutorials before, not just in my class, but in most classes. And I think that they really enjoyed having that smaller setting with the more personalized interaction. And I saw that they were able to ask questions that I felt like they didn't ask during class. Maybe they just felt like they were more comfortable asking questions. But I saw a lot of growth in the master's category, which was one of my goals after benchmark 2, so that's exciting. I went from a 5% master's at benchmark 2 to a 33% master's at the STAAR 2021. Yay! So yeah, that was super exciting. Overall, I had a 33% master's, like I said, 60% meets and 87% approaches. So almost exactly on target for the district's goal of 30, 60, 90. So that was exciting. Feel like I learned a lot from benchmark 2 to the STAAR test, and definitely took some of that into the next year, the 2021-2022 school year, as far as the integrity of assessments and consistency of assessments. So there's a lot of valuable things that I learned through this data in the 2020-2021 year.